Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadra IAS Academy. In our one topic a day, today we are going to discuss some unknown facts, about census 2027. सेंसस का ये अभी प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, सबको पता है, लेकिन सेंसस के बारे में बहुत सारा जो फैक्ट्स है, शायद वो फैक्ट्स हमें पता नहीं है. सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट. Now, what is the basic idea of a census? That is familiar to everyone, because census is the simple process of collecting, what we can say, analyzing the information related to India ka demographic structure, social, cultural, economic data, etc. And this is a very comprehensive survey conducted by the government. So that basic idea we all have. Now coming to some details which we may not be aware. सेंसस 2027 जो इस बार हो रहा है, दिस विल बी द 16th सेंसस, ओके, इन द सीरीज ऑफ द सेंसस कंडक्टेड, एंड इट विल बी द 8th सेंसस आफ्टर इंडियाज इंडिपेंडेंस. सो हमारा देश का इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद दिस विल बिकम द 8th सेंसस, ओके, एंड सो दिस ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी द लार्जेस्ट सेंसस इन द वर्ल्ड बिकॉज ऑफ आवर शेयर पॉपुलेशन. And so the government has now strengthened a lot of digital infrastructure this time for the census so that the data can be properly collected and also collated and published. Now going back to little bit of history of census in India, right? Maybe this part is not familiar to many. So if you look at it here, where do we find some records of some earlier reference to census in India? So according to the Press Information Bureau report, the first earliest reference goes to 321 to 296 BC, that is before Christ. So this is where you find in Kautilya's Arthashastra. There is some reference of being conducted in the country. So that is where we find the oldest reference to census. After that, you will find it in the 16th century during the time of Akbar, right? So the reference is found in the writings of Abul Fazl in the Aini Akbari during the days of Emperor Akbar के समय में कुछ reference है ऐसा कुछ census का, right? But when we talk about the modern population census, it was conducted between 1865 and 1872. But what happened? This census did not take place in all the areas simultaneously. So there is the disconnect here and there, right? And India conducted the first synchronous census. That means same time everywhere. This was conducted in 1881, right? So these are some of the references जो Press Information Bureau में officially government ने publish किया है. Exam में ये आने का chances भी हो सकता है, right? Now coming to our current census, some more facts that we may not be familiar. The census 2027 is basically an institutional effort by the government. It is not done by some private NGOs or whatever, because the census basically is governed under the Census Act 1948. Clear? And also it is guided by the Census Rules 1990. So the two important data information that we need to keep in mind is the Census Act and also the Census Rules 1990. Okay. Now coming to this census, the census is basically a union list ka subject. We have a union list, state list, concurrent list, right? So this is the subject of the union list under which schedule? Under the 7th schedule, and the number is 69 of the constitution. Clear? And as a union subject, therefore this whole effort is done by the government, definitely with the collaboration of the state government as well as the union territory. Okay, so remember, census is in the union list, it is not a concurrent list, and it is in the 7th schedule. Okay. Now, very important thing that may not be familiar to many of you. Census का जो information है, this information is strictly confidential. That means what? हमारा जो data collect किया जाता है, this data about an individual is completely confidential under the section 15 of the Census Act. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Any personal information provided by the people during the census is strictly confidential. What does it mean? It cannot be made public under even the RTI Act. Clear? So you cannot make an RTI Act and ask information about somebody. And it cannot be used as evidence in the court of law. This is something I myself did not know. Right? So very interesting facts. And it cannot be shared with any institutions as well. So the strictly government of India has to make sure that the data collected from individuals is not leaked and it is not made available anywhere, right? Only the overall total information country का कितना क्या है वो data दिया जाएगा. Individual का information supposed to be highly confidential. और ये सब इंफॉर्मेशन जो मैं आपको शेयर कर रहा हूं, आई गॉट इट फ्रॉम द प्रेस इंफॉर्मेशन ब्यूरो पब्लिश्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, राइट? सो जस्ट रिमेंबर फ्रॉम एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव में दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ऑल्सो टू नो वेदर द सेंसस डेटा कैन बी आस्क्ड अंडर द आरटीआई एक्ट. Simple answer is no, it cannot be. Now, what are the salient features of the current census 2027? The important point that it has come out this time, that this census is going to have a caste enumeration. So this is one of the main features of the census 2027. You see, until the census 2011, the exercise included only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, you know. So now they are going to have a census which is a caste enumeration. So this is going to be something giving lot of information about India ka, what we can say, the social structure. Okay, clear now? Second important thing, this census is going to be a digital census. Why? Because there is a facility where individuals can also, do their personal enumeration, you can enter your data. So the government has worked quite a lot on digitizing the census data. Okay. And the third important feature, what we can mention as an important feature, the government has dedicated a portal. Exam you might get this in the prelims. What is this portal? What is the name of this portal? It is called Census Management and Monitoring System, CMMS portal. So it is developed for managing and monitoring the entire census in the real time. That means you can have the information on a real time basis. So officers at the sub-district, district level, national level can track the data. That's how the data will be collated. Another important feature, as I already mentioned, is the house listing and housing census. There is a mobile app is available. So people can actually enter their data. Okay. So the accessible only to those registered on the CMMS portal. So it enables direct field to server data transmission so that you don't need to use the paperwork of writing and everything. And it will work on Android and also iOS platform, available in 16 languages. So from exam perspective, remember that also 16 languages it will be available. Okay. So these are what I could think that some of the important facts about census which may or may not be known to us, but now it is good to know because this topic might come in exam, both prelims and mains. So from the prelims point of view, I am giving you one MCQ regarding the census 2027. It is the first census of India to use digital means for data collection. It provides an option for citizens to undertake self-enumeration, right? Caste enumeration will be part of the census. The reference date for census 2027 is the same throughout the entire India. So the problem is with option 4 because the reference date is not the same for entire country. So the general reference date is exactly 0 hours on 1st March 2027. But for Ladakh and some other snow-bound, non-synchronous areas of Jammu, Kashmir, Himachal, it will be 0 hours on 1st October 2026. Clear now? So just be familiar with this kind of basic facts about census. Exam may it will be useful. Also from mains perspective, I have given a question here, for UPSC, APSC and other state level exams. Census 2027 represents a significant transformation in India's demographic data architecture. Discuss the significance of digital enumeration and caste enumeration and what challenges need to be addressed to ensure accuracy, inclusion, even data security. So you might get a question like this on mains possible also. Okay, so prepare this topic very well. It's currently a hot topic, census going on. So you might get questions in exam. Okay, and if you are preparing for any state level exam or any other exam, if you need any help or support, you can contact Bhadra IAS Academy at 8638391721. Okay, so keep watching our one topic a day discussion. I will come out with more topics for your exam preparation. Thank you.